Hello everybody, welcome to number 27. I'm Jack, and in this episode we're going to be looking at engine chips, and in particular aimed at diesel engines. Do they work? I recently bought a Rover 75 that has the M47 BMW engine in it. What we're going to do is we're going to take it to have a dyno run before the chip is fitted and after. Now, a bit of information about the chip itself. I decided to go with Bluespark. They're a British made chip and they have a good reputation, but also their customer services is very, very good. Quick disclosure here, they supplied this for testing, so I haven't paid for it, but I am not being paid to make this test, and the dyno runs are being undertaken completely independently as well. Let's take a quick look and see what you get in the box. So, first of all, some instructions. I'd read about this already. One of the plugs that you use to plug the unit in can be plugged the wrong way, so they just want to make sure that you don't plug it the wrong way around. Here you have the unit itself, a little bag, and a load of wiring. Let's see what else is in here. Some tie wraps to secure the unit, some Bluespark branded pens, and this is a bypass plug. So this is in case you essentially have to bypass the unit but don't want to dismount the whole thing, you can use that. This is obviously the loom to connect it up. There's 3 plugs. One will go in the unit and 2 will bypass the connection probably on the rail, but we'll find more about that because here are the full instructions. Then there's also a nice sticker there. So the instructions seem pretty clear really. You just got to take off a plastic shield on top of the engine where the air intake is, and then that exposes the plug to the rail sensor, and then you splice in the unit into that. So it should be relatively quick and straightforward. This is the tuning unit itself, the chip, whatever you want to call it. You've got the connector there, and I think the whole thing obviously stays in the engine bay and is secured with those tie wraps. Would have been useful if they put a picture of the unit actually installed in the engine, but they haven't done that. The tuning module itself looks really well made. Looks like that's aluminium, slightly milled as a heat sink, all nicely put together. You can tune this, so you can have it biased towards more power or more fuel economy. In theory, it should bring both, depending on how far you go one way or the other. It is currently in its middle setting. To change that, you have to open it up and then move a little plug. There's instructions for that as well. I'm going to keep it in that middle setting, which is supposed to be the sweet spot for more economy and more power. There are cheaper modules on eBay, but obviously you can see this is very well thought out, and the feedback I've seen is that these are decent products. It also comes with a little pouch there, which I think is to keep the unit in and protect it a little bit when you strap it inside the engine bay. Right everybody, it's time to see if this is going to work or not. So I am in Brize Norton at the pit stop. They've got a rolling road. The guys generally do classic cars, tuning and stuff like that, and work on them generally. And we're going to do a run, first of all, without the chip, without the tuning module rather. Then I'm going to fit the tuning module and see what difference it makes. So first of all, the run without the module. So we've done the first run, and it took a little bit of fiddling from the guys to do, because with the auto gearbox it's really, really hard to get a decent, reliable reading, but they managed it in the end, and it was really interesting to see that it's putting out 131 horsepower, which is great. That's what it's supposed to be. I was expecting a lower figure. I mean, this has 75, is it 85,000 miles on it? But that's fine, and it's now time to fit the module And for that, essentially, just got to take the shroud off the top of the engine. So it's 3 8mm bolts to take out. They take off the shroud, put in the new harness with the chip itself. You can see it fitted now already here. I've done it. And it literally took 5 minutes to do. The only thing is try and work out where you're going to strap the module to. But let's see what it does with this run. When I first got here and explained to Ralph, who runs the place, what we were trying to do, he was quite sceptical that the module was going to be making much difference. And he was also gobsmacked. We've got the readings here, and the peak figures tell you a little bit, but they don't tell you the whole story. But even on peak figures, from 130, it's gone up to 141. And from 264 foot-pounds of torque, it's gone up to 274. What really tells you the story is the difference between the dark blue and dark green curves and the distance between the two from the lower revs. There's a little squiggle at the beginning. That's to do with the auto gearbox, so ignore that. It's the bottom of the squiggle where essentially we are measuring from. And you can see that both in the horsepower, but especially in the torque, the curves remain the same, but they are just higher throughout the rev range. So Ralph says it's going to make a massive difference, he thinks. What we're going to do now is go out with the GoPros, and I can tell you how it feels underfoot. But so far, it's looking very, very promising, like it really has made quite a big difference. I've driven it around a little bit already, and the differences are quite notable. I'm just going to take you through it, really, but this car with this engine tends to stick more or less with the auto gearbox around 1500 to 2000 RPM for a lot of the time. It always felt a little bit asthmatic, sort of, for example, pulling away, and it immediately just feels like a nicer car to drive. So on this little road, I'm doing 40 to 50 miles an hour, and within that range, it's simply much more responsive. I think it's in 3rd gear here, and it seems to be more willing to pick up, and I don't know if I'm imagining this or not, but it does seem to be going through the gears a lot quicker. So when you're pulling away and so on, it holds onto the gears, it doesn't hold onto the gears as long and moves up a gear, which I think would tally with what Bluespark have told me, which is that the way that you get more power through this, but also better economy, which was what I found quite odd, is that because there's more power low down, the gearbox, even an auto gearbox like this, will go into the higher gears quicker, therefore you're using less revs. Let's just try a sort of a foot to the floor run though, and see if it feels faster when you're actually pushing it a little bit, as well as when you're trickling around. It does build speed quicker, but I think most noticeable is just when you're driving it normally. So for example, now I'm just below 60 miles an hour at about sort of 1800 revs. If I flex my foot a little bit, maybe do a half throttle, it picks up really nicely. Previously, when I would have done that, it would have already kicked down. So I think perhaps, I don't know, with the way the engine management is programmed, it can tell what power the engine is putting out, and if it feels that before, because there wasn't that much power there, it would have knocked a gear down. This way, it simply feels more effortless. Now the tuning box has various settings. You have to remove the screws from the back, and then there is a little plug, I think, that you move around. It's currently on the middle setting. I could go a couple of stages back towards getting more economy, or I could go a few stages higher and get more performance. I think 150 from the box is very achievable. On a car like this, I really don't see the point. This sort of in-between settings does exactly what I wanted it to do. The bit where I think, personally, that it has gained the most, which is between 1500 and 2000 RPM, we can't unfortunately show you because the gearbox was kicking down. But if you look at the shape of the torque curves, ignore that initial squiggle on the first run, which isn't representative. If you look at the way they're going, you can see that there would have been a sizable gain in that rev range, 1500 to 2000. So on the whole, I think this is a very worthy thing. Very happy with it. Big thanks to the guys at Pit Stop for doing this, bearing with me. If you need dyno runs, tuning and so on of your classic car, they're based in Brize Norton. I'll put the link in the video description. And especially a really big thanks to Gary and Ed at Bluespark, who supplied the module and were totally relaxed about me just taking it somewhere else to be dynoed. You know, they know that the system works, and yeah, I'm very happy with it. I also put the details to their website in the video description. With regards to the economy tests, keep an eye out. I'll do an updated video because I think I'm going to have to use a couple of tanks of fuel and work out on a couple of set journeys how to see what it's doing with and without the box. It's quite easy to exclude the box, so I'll use it for a bit without, get some figures, and then do the same with the box as well. Thank you all so much, and I really look forward to seeing you for the next video.